Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you all are having a great day or kind of getting ready or kind of settling down after a beautiful day. Today, I once again I'm alone. Hermes is missing. I don't know where in Dubai he is lost. So it's just going to be me and our awesome guest, who's Dheeraj. And we keep on getting requests to get a talk mainly focusing on mobile photography. So he is a travel photographer who do amazing landscape images, and I have seen some of his great collection. So it's going to be an experience. So let Dheeraj talk about his journey, his travel stories, and how he started and where he is right now. So everything from the person itself. So let's welcome Dheeraj over here. Hi, Dheeraj.
Uh, hi Nisha, how are you?
Very good, dear. How are you?
I'm fine, doing great, and thank you for this opportunity for making to give me like a spot to talk about my love for photography. And today, we have taken a niche topic of mobile photography, so let's would love to talk about it. And before that, is it okay if I share that how everything started for me,
Yes,
like the
that is
journey?
that's what we want. Start with
Yeah.
your journey, then we will proceed
Yeah.
how it is going to be.
For me, it's like you can say a cliche thing again. Like I started, like my journey started as I was a engineer. That time I have a clue, like I was more clueless after engineering than before joining engineering. You can say then. So once I joined engineering, it was all going. I was like interested in all the topics and stuff, and every I didn't notice that about myself. Then after like 2 years into engineering, then my friends people who had like big cameras they used to bring, and I was like, let's take few pictures. So I took a few pictures, even though they were not great, but I used to like it. Like I was generally I don't ask stuff to someone, but for camera I was like, let's ask them, let's see what I can do. I usually ask them, and I liked it. So on one Diwali, I asked my dad I want a camera, and
Okay.
he gave me and so this camera was something very unique. It has a projector built inside the in itself. So after clicking the picture, you can project it on any wall.
Oh,
So
that's very
I saw that ad. Yeah, it's from Nikon. Coolpix something don't remember. So I was uh, so happy to see that ad on television. I was like, let's go. So I went to the local mall. There's a big mall here. So I went there and I asked the camera. So I thought I didn't know what is 10,000, what is 20,000 that time. I was like, I will ask my dad. So we went there. It was 25,000 at that time. It is like
okay.
15 years from back. That is not a
Yeah.
DSLR. It's a normal Coolpix camera.
Okay.
And my dad freaked out there. He thought it will be a normal camera. He scolded me like, "What are you? Are you mad or what?" But still, he got me that camera. But that was the biggest scolding I got in public. Like, are you sure that like? It was very bad. Then I was like, okay, let's see. Then I started clicking on that. I used all that. If you know Picasa,
Yep.
do you remember Picasa? Yeah. I used to organize all the pictures there, edit it there, and then used to you can say like all extra maximum saturation, yeah, all yellow, everything that is bad I have done there on Picasa.
Oh,
After from Picasa, then I moved to then the college years ended. So once college like ends, you need to like prepare for yourself for the you can say the entrance for the companies and other stuff. So that time again the photography declined, and I was like happily working, and I got myself one job. So I moved
okay.
to Mumbai.
Okay.
And between that time, what happened was my one of my friend like during college time, one of my friend has a DSLR, so 50 lens he had, and it was good for taking portraits. So I was taking one portrait of someone, and I tried to return it to him, and
Okay.
we accidentally it fell down.
Oh,
So the camera with the lens. So that is the first thing. And my friend was like, "You have to give me a 50 lens. I don't mind if it's a if even if it's a used one, but I want a 50 from you." that was my first mishandling of my of a camera. After that, I've not. After that, I've dropped it once, but that was one of the biggest thing that his lens broke. And glad it was just 50 and not any other prime lens. So that happened, and then I repaired him, and then that is my only part of I had interacted with photography before. After that, it went to college. I shifted from Chennai to Mumbai for my work, and there it was going well. Like first year of working, it's all good. Like everyone, like it's a new environment for you. First of all, new city, new people, new mindset. So it was all going great. Then again, after 1 year, you start realizing that it's new for that's it. Then after that it becomes moderate, and then you need to find something about yourself, like you need to
Yeah.
do something. You in Mumbai especially, if you go, you see people are really passionate when they take something, like even because there it's not just people like to do software stuff. There are people who do any kind of work that you think. There'll be people doing it with more passion. There will be like a whole community behind the whole that section of art. So I didn't know this when I was at my home. It was like what comfortable environment, no need to explore. But there I explored a lot, met a lot of people, and then my curiosity started gaining. Like it was like, what am I doing? Like what am I looking for? So it was, I think, second year of my job, and I was like, it was my birthday, and I was like, let's uh, let's do one thing. I have never gifted myself anything. Let me get my camera. So I got myself a 700D. That too, what I was smart. I was like, let's not buy it fully together. It will be. It was like 50,000. I saved the money, but I was like, it's too much. Let me buy it on EMI. I'll play slowly, and I didn't have a card for EMI. My friend had, so I was paying my friend every month, and I got the camera. Then I started using the camera, and week by week, what happened was my like in IT, you have to give a little bit more emphasis on studying by yourself as well, because if you want to stand out. Like if you want to be a normal working person, then it is okay, like whatever work you get. But if you want to improve your skills, you need to study, and you need to get certificates. I was never into coding. First of all, I was zero. Like I was bad at coding. Okay,
Okay.
I was grateful I got a job and I was working there. And then this when I as soon as I got my camera, every weekend turned out to be I need to go this place. I used to plan
Okay.
alone. I was just going alone shooting this place. Some people thought I had just 700D. Imagine 700D with 250 so
Okay.
that 55 250 and 1855 and 50
Okay.
the all those three lenses. And
Okay.
people thought that I was coming here to shoot something or something, because it was like I was just going alone, right? And I was shooting. So
Okay.
it was a good. So there I started exploring photography. Every weekend I would used to study about it, and then after studying I tried to implement, because I didn't know what is exposure triangle. I couldn't balance anything on that. So sometimes it will be overexposed. Sometimes I'll be, let's take a shot at 1/20 because the light is not good, and come home and to see everything is blurred. On camera screen it was looking good. So this was my face. So second year it was just curiosity building up. Third year when it came, my focus was slowly shifting to how to, if I've taken the picture, how to take it to a like different level, like to give my touch to it. Not that it's just an output from my camera. I need to process it in a way that I like, and people like, not people. I my feelings of that picture should get reciprocated in that. So that started happening, and that is the phase when I totally dug deep into photography. Like I had rotational shifts, like rotational shift as in every week the shift used to change. From 1 week it will be morning, like from 11 to from 7 to 3 p.m. Then 1 week will be 2 to 11, and then next week will be from 11 to morning 7, and then next week will be this one 11 to 11 to 9. So I was rotating in this shift for 4 years. My body had given up. Like it doesn't didn't I think still it is not able to follow one timetable, and especially now after NFTs it is all gone. There's no timetable at all that even you know of.
Yeah.
But after that, so once I finished my shift, I used to just come home, start with photography. Like literally I used to open YouTube. I think Pi, you know Pi, right? On YouTube, like yeah. So his videos I started with. He started to explain. what is aperture triangle. Then I went to editing part, like how to post process pictures. My whole YouTube from I generally didn't use YouTube that much, but then the YouTube become all about learning. My whole YouTube, if you go and see, I am very careful with the links I click. I never click anything which is not for about photography because the whole suggestion changes off. Till now, it's been like 5 years. My all suggestion will on YouTube page will be either photography or something gear related of photography. So I slowly started going into it that much that now everything around me was happening according to photography only, and the only thing was a hindrance was my job. Because now, so if that happens, the obviously my performance in the job decreased a lot. And so I think over the years, like third, fourth, fifth, I worked around 7 years in that job. Second year I started with photography, and fifth, like after 5 years of doing that, I was like, let's do it. Like enough of it. Whatever happens, I just quit it, and I got the courage to actually quit the job. And I was like, let's do something for myself. So that 5 years of transitioning into photography was what you can say that interest that I had was very amateurish. Like I was slowly developing it to, I didn't know what professionalism was and how to do it. So as like the fifth year, sixth year came, I started to understand that just not just about photography, it's like an art that you need to express yourself with. So as I said, to develop a style, so I was exploring a lot of stuff, like like for example on Instagram, if I used to, I still save pictures which I think I cannot replicate. Like for example, if I go to Instagram, if I see for example Nisha, your picture, and if I see a color grading which I think if I see, okay, this is something I don't know how to do it, I just save it in a folder, editing styles or something like that. So
Okay.
someday when I am sitting on a PC and I have a lot of landscape images, so I generally tend to give a different kind of themes to my landscape. It's just not sometimes a single theme. I might give some other theme, but your mind sometimes after seeing all the feed becomes very narrow. Like for example, if you see something from let's say if you're a wildlife photographer from Masai Mara, it will have some yellow tone on it, a
Yeah.
yellowish something like a warm tone. So now if I want to explore something, if I want to see something I want to do with a colder tone, there are no pictures of that. So now if I go to these reference images, even though that might be landscape, but I understand, okay, this is a color palette that I can use and implement here. So those are the
Okay.
things I started implementing slowly, even though I was not successfully able to do that. But slowly I started doing that over the fifth, sixth year of my interest in photography. And lately, after quitting my job and go and meeting a lot of fellow photographers, it opened my mind like what else can be done. It's not just about taking pictures, it's about showing yourself in the picture, which is very difficult to do. If they see a picture from a wildlife, they should not be able they should able even though there are hundreds of wildlife photographers, they should be able to know that this is clicked by you, even
Yeah.
though that there must be some unique thing about that picture. So I started to develop that. Even though I've not developed it, like I admire people who have done that, but it's hard to do. It's very hard to do, like to have a specific skill. I even contradict that, because if I have a certain kind of skill, like a certain kind of style, then it hinders me from exploring other styles as well. But that is a thing that you need to balance yourself off, and like depends on your portfolio, how you
Yeah.
want to show your stuff. So so that's how it has been. So after quitting my job, like after around 7 years, I was like, let's do something big out of it. What I did was as soon as, so the best part was I got my camera on my birthday, and the last work, like the next working day of my quitting my job was my birthday. So it was like exactly, it was all you can say uh, coincidental. Now I didn't plan that; it just happened. I was like, okay, let's see. It might be something. It means something. And the moment my job, I got like 3 months notice period got over, I went on a trip with Navneet. I think if you know Navneet Unnikrishnan, he
Yeah.
had a workshop of aerial photo of not aerial, sorry, astrophotography. So
Photography.
I love astro. I literally love astro. I still have to know a lot about it, but I cannot put the time and effort as of now, but I know how to take the shot. But the thing is, how to take it to the next level by using star trackers, and so I am very much interested into it. But so maybe in another year I will buy a tracker, I'll experiment with something and take some shots. But as of now, I don't know anything about it, like zero. So yeah, I went on a trip with Navneet, and I saw how things, like I just wanted to go on a photography trip. After that, I understood, like, going on a trip with a normal friends and going on a trip with photography friends is totally different. People understand, like,
Yeah.
okay, this sunset will happen from 4 to 7 and you need to stay at a place. It is fine. Other people will not stay for 5 minutes and they'll get bored. So I think most of my friends are afraid to go out with me now. They know that this fellow, if he sits here, he's not going to move for another 1 hour or 2 hours, and they and don't even talk. I'll be just talking to myself that this is the composition I can take, that is what I can include. But they'll be like, "Why did you come with us then? Why did you come to take?" So I try to balance it out by not taking pictures. But in the end, if I see something which I want to take, I was like, "Okay, let's do and let's take it." I'll convince my friends afterwards. First, let's take the shot. Then I can apologize afterwards for whatever I want to do. So that's how it was happening, and then so that trip actually changed a little bit on me. And one thing I forgot to mention about my job was during my 7 years, I was able to go on an on-site trip, not trip like working there. So I covered a couple of places there. I covered like Germany, I covered Barcelona, I covered Iceland, I covered as in went for a day tour, like small tour, and just tasted what feels like traveling, not exact traveling, just tasted that how experience. So I just went there. I in a couple of countries. I really, as a traveler, if you, I didn't go as a traveler. I went as a tourist. So now, so my mindset is slowly changing there, because as a tourist, I don't want to go as a tourist these days. Now I want to actually go there, spend some time, and then come back from a place, because that helps me to build a relationship with the place. Like for example, just before in August, I went to this trip to you can say Zanskar in Ladakh. So
Okay.
there are is a monastery called Fuktal, which is a very secluded monastery. It's not like anyone can go. You have to take a car from Ladakh to Zanskar, and then from Zanskar you take like you have, like, obviously the same car, you go from Zanskar to this place called Shah or Purne. From there, it's a 2 hours hike, a 2 to 3 hours hike, and the hike is not a simple hike. It's a small path where you can only put 1 feet, one leg. That's it. Not even two legs. It's that small, and it's all cliff. You just it's not dangerous, but yeah, it's just cliff. It's one of the beautiful things I have done. So so generally what people do is they go for a 1 day trip. Like they go on the morning and they come in the evening from there. I stayed there for 1 week with the monks, like properly. I experienced the place, as in we I called the monks and we asked them like if you can stay at that place. I documented the place, and now I can like confidently say I know there are only 40 people there, 40, 45 people. In that, there are 30, you could say, child lamas. Like child lamas are just, children monks, the ones. We know all 30 of them. Like now, like the first day they were not teasing us, but they were like running away from us. They didn't care. Like they were like, again another photographer has come to take pictures and then leave. It was like that. They also thought that. So they saw second day, then third day, then fourth day. Now on the fourth, fifth day, you can see that they started coming to us. They started expressing themselves out, and the pictures that we got on the last few days were, I can tell you, even though that might not mean anything for anyone else, but that expression that we had got, like the natural, how natural they were, it's one of the best things that I have on my hard disk. Like I don't shoot that many people, but still, as a travel photographer, if you need a pictures of few people, that was like the best thing. And then they started to introduce us to other people as well. Like there is a small village on opposite side of that monastery called Yagur. So the population of the whole village is 10. That's it, 10 to 15, and it has two schools. It has in that they have two schools also. So we went there like for the whole day. Imagine there were eight children, and I don't know. We all, like, I played with them. Like literally, we were playing in the. So they have their own, you can say, farmland with all the kind of flowers, vegetables growing there. they knew more about the soil, the texture than I ever could. Like they were saying that this soil is good for potatoes, this soil is good for cultivating this vegetable. And they were like, because they are doing that, and uh, they are like, imagine just eight people in a small locality, eight houses, all were like just welcoming. They never thought anything bad of us. Like they just welcomed into their home, and they even asked us to stay because it was late night. So we were all so you can say so if I did that for just one day, I wouldn't have experienced this I won't say life changing, but a small part of me as now they know me. So imagine 30 monks in some isolated place. They would know me if I go there the second time, and they will be able to like it'll be like friends who have seen after a long time. It will be like that. It won't be like some other person who has come. So now so I have so this trip has like so what happened was, on the last days of the trip I noticed that many of the people don't have access to many things as of like for example, there was a so we gave a canvas to for the children monks to shoot, and that fellow took a good shot, okay, very good shot. But then he's blinking too much. Like, he was too much. He was blinking as if that he's not able to see or something. I asked what happened. He said nothing is not clear. I said we generally ask till how far can you see. So he said only I can see till this far. After this far I cannot see anything generally. So then we realized that these people don't even know that there is something called spectacles available, or something called eye care that they can go off, because for them to have that eye care they need to travel 9 hours. Anything. So like for even for us, we needed to send a message to a driver that we will be coming next week. So we had to write a note on a paper, give it to a monk who was going to that village. So after 3 hours of hiking, he went there. He called, like he called the number, seeing the note, and then after 3 hours he came back and told, I've informed the driver. So that was the communication that was happening. There's only one satellite phone there, and so that they use only in case of high emergency. They said, I don't have balance now, don't call anyone. So they wrote a note and they sent. So imagine to have a simple message to be sent to a driver, it takes 6 hours now. To so that kind of isolated place to have an to know someone from there, it feels good. Like it feels yeah, you have done little small things. Like this is how you become a traveler from a tourist. Like slowly now investing time in a place and enjoying the comfort of discomfort. Like it was very, if I tell you all the amenities that we had, you will be like, okay, let's not talk about it. But it was like the most minimal number of things. Like even water, if you want water, and the washroom, it's like a hike, small hike. If you want to carry water from a washroom to a like if you want to fill water from a tap to a washroom, and there's only one tap in the whole monastery that fills water with, like only one. It comes from a glacier top up from the top, and that is the water we drank. And here in the city, if I get any water which is just lying somewhere, we'll be like, no, I'm not going to drink that. I'll buy a Bisleri. And now here, from a pipe that is like 30 years old or 20 years old, that the water is kept flowing for I don't know how many years. So that is what has like it impacts you, like you value other things. So that slowly I'm trying to develop, and like this is how travel that you become, like as I said, you become a traveler instead of a tourist, just by enjoying the amenities around, like going to 5-star places that you can always do. But now to experience this place with local people, now I have made contacts even to, if I want to go to Turtuk from Ladakh, that's the last village of India. So we were lucky enough to find contacts for that Turtuk village in that monastery. Like it was like that. It was so incredible experience. Someday I'll share the picture of that. So the projects which I'm doing now, I'm like trying to donate to these people for that eye care and everything, so that at least for that 9 hours journey for them, it will cost them some amount, like for the 30 people. So I thought of like, let's from the projects that I earn, let me donate it to them. At least they can have an eye care, like all 30 can go and come back with at least the right kind of eye care, because that I agree that they don't need everything because they have habituated themselves. But eye care is something that I thought it will be a good idea to just donate it for. Let's see how it turns out to be. But that is what I have planned. So yeah, this is a small backstory about me,
That's
and
great.
like
Let's start with the real
Yeah,
pictures.
present. Yeah, let's start with the pictures. Yeah. So hi everyone. How many people are there, Anisha? Because I don't know how to see that.
See, the thing is, our viewers are not going to be real right now, but our viewership is like,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
So,
offline.
yeah,
Yeah.
offline.
So as of now, this is the kind of a small presentation I've designed for mobile photography. In this, there are few pictures which are even taken from my camera, but I've just included that just to show how you can it doesn't matter what you have, but how you can see the composition and how you can take pictures as well. I'll mention that which are the pictures from to my camera.
Yeah.
So this is like so as I said, when I was shooting everything, like this is what I started with. Like this is the good stuff. I have not put the bad stuff here. How this is from Mumbai. The first two pictures are from Mumbai, and the second picture, the third picture, where you see the reflection, I thought that's one of my greatest shots at one point of time. Seeing, oh my god, I caught reflection and stuff. Then I realized how basic this shot is, and like it's anything, like it's normal shot. So slowly that you see, the last shot that you see of fireworks, that is something I did. You can say a lot of jugaad or. So what I did, it was a long bulb mode shot. So I
Okay.
know that if I in the bulb mode, I saw that the lightnings were happening at one point. I was like, okay, cool. Now they stopped happening. So what I did, I closed my lens with my lens cap, and I
Mhm.
turned my camera towards some other place where lightnings were happening, where sorry, fireworks were happening. So I turned there. Then I turned to third position. So what happened was the buildings. If you zoom in, you cannot zoom in here, but the building. See, the horizon was similar, like it was just overlapping buildings, so nobody cared. But the fireworks actually came out a lot because of that, above the ground. So that is some random technique I just thought of, and it actually worked out really well for me. It's just a single shot of like 3-4 minutes where I just turned my camera in all the possible directions I could just to fill it with fireworks. That's all. That's a small thing that you start exploring with. Then slowly my style a little bit improved. Now then like I've tried to keep similar kind of images there. Now from the first one, it's from Sweden. Now I started learning how to separate your background to from your subject and stuff. So slowly you start seeing things that you can incorporate. Like I didn't want, if I could have just had this image where it's flat black and white, but then I started in like thinking more about you can say how to bring out my subjects and stuff. So that's how you see that the it's I think a normal small room for something, and it's just how I popped it out. And the second one is by the second picture you see that I've used a ND filter where the boats were very still. Since there were no I went after the curfew got over in Kashmir, so I was like one of the first persons to, you can say, be as like to come to Kashmir for taking pictures and stuff. Like after like 6 months curfew, so there were no tourists, so all the boats were not moving, and that's why I got a clean shot. The third
Okay.
shot is just a shot of a blue arc. And just the last one. Now, as I said, the last one I did so much jugaad and turned all the camera. This is a single shot where I blended all the exposures and made this the whole thing. And from different exposures. So slowly, I just try to develop my thing. Yeah, Nisha, you were telling something. I could hear
Yeah.
something.
Did so these all are with camera, not with mobile,
Yeah,
right?
this is okay. This is a camera. Yeah. I was just telling that. So this is the gear I use. The cameras which the phone which I use is which I've written Google Pixel 2 XL and OnePlus 5T.
Okay.
And yeah, so irrespective of which camera you use or uh, which phone you use, three things are really important for any kind of photography, which is like composition, lighting, and perspective. There can be many other things, but for my personal taste, I'll say that these three for me are important. And so that's so that yeah, I'll just try to explain that. Check composition, like how you can have multiple elements. The first photo is from taken from my phone camera, and the second and third is from my DSLR. So the first photo, if you say, let's talk about just first one. Like first, I just try to have a foreground element, a midground element, and a background element, so that you can see you can see a more it's like not a 2D image, just a flat image. You can see that it's going deeper in a way.
Yeah.
So so the foreground element, and even my post processing, I have done kept it in that way that the light is falling on the ground, on the middle patch of the ground. So you see there's a uh, uh, depth created by the light. So that's how you start slowly working on your images and bringing out more colors. And the second image you see is just a normal shot of a reflection, but how turning it. So with my composition, I just want to say that the mountains are maybe the lungs of our earth. So
Yeah.
that I wanted to show with the image. So that's what I saw for the first time when I saw this image, and that's what I wanted to show. But with the vertical image, like no, with the normal horizon, if I had normally if it's not inverted, it won't show that effect. So that's why I just turned the image and wanted to show this part. And the third part is again the similar thing, like how the statue is in the front and how the light in the background is brighter. So I just want to show that there is a uh, such a huge sea behind the statue, and yeah, so that's what I want to show with composition. Lighting lighting is something which is like one of the best, like very important for any. So middle, the shot in the middle is shot from my camera, so from my phone. It's on Pixel 2, and left and right of both from my DSLR. So I'll just talk about the middle photo. So now if for that light to if that light was not there on the peak of the mountain, then it would have not given it that interesting composition. I would have felt like it is just a normal shot. It just because of the peak lighting, the whole thing gives more. It gives more, makes the more makes it more dynamic. You can say, even the clouds and everything. So the timing and the lighting is very important in any kind of photography. Like anything you do, lighting will play a major role in it, like especially these kind of mountain shots. I am telling you, like this will not last for more than 20, 10 minutes. No, 10 minutes is also long. Maximum 5 minutes it will last, like from the tip to little bit to cross from the tip. So so you need to be prepared, you need to be on the right spot, you need to be scouting and stuff. I'll tell you a lot of advantages of using mobile for scouting as well. So this image again, perspective. Like for example, like the first and the third image are shot from my phone, and the middle one is shot from. No, all three are shot from my, I think, phone. Yeah, all the three are shot from my phone. With this, I just wanted to say that how you can show uh, the scale of a thing. Like for example, on the left image, you see there are many things I wanted to show with that image. Like this is from Kashmir. So how people in Kashmir are walking in the middle of the woods with such a beautiful backdrop, which is for people who are staying in the city, this is like a dream to live in. Like this is such a beautiful scenery. That's what I want to show that. But without those people, without those two going, you wouldn't even realize how massive this place is, how massive the mountains is. And even in the second one, without that you won't realize how things are. So that's why including a person sometimes, not just a person, anything of where any user seeing it can relate. Okay, now I know the scale. Like for example, if I just took a picture of the mountain, nobody will know how huge it is. Like it can be a 40 feet mountain or 4,000 feet mountain. By you can always see people by using your camera, but now if you have a person inside it, now they are able to relate. Okay, he might be 5'6", so now what can be now they can imagine the scale of it. Like once like when the viewer can connect with the image more, they start liking it even better. So that's what is the thing I wanted to show. Like in the other picture where the tree is there, I intentionally put a person there just to show how big is the tree, and how complex is the tree. Like I just wanted to show a simple element with a complex element, something like that. So that's why I included a human being there. Okay, this is a personal taste. I'll say, like isolation. For me, over the years, I have, as I said, I have a lot of lenses and stuff. But for me, centering the subject has become I don't know, it gives me more impactful images sometimes. That's my personal taste, not for it's not applicable for everything. Like if I use any other thing, it doesn't. Sometimes that I don't know how to balance it. But as a center, if I use a center or if I isolate them on the rule of thirds or something, I feel it is more balanced. That's why these three images I have just shown, like how you can even use a center composition to frame your subjects. Okay, so now I'll start with the mobile photography part. Like these are now all the pictures will be entirely mobile. So these three are shot on the first two are shot on in Delhi, and the second one is on in Mumbai, which everyone knows. So see, there's the pictures that you shoot from a mobile. The best part is you can see in a screen and you can take it instantly, which actually helps you a lot. If you like from camera to phone, that is a very big advantage that you have is you have a bigger screen to see your pictures and frame your shot very carefully. Like every detail of your shot you can actually even your camera you can do it, not telling that you cannot, but I'm telling like instant pictures have become a thing. So the mobile is one of the best things that you can use for this. Like for the first picture, uh, I waited for the birds to fly. First and the third, I waited for the birds to come in the picture just to give it more depth to the picture. Because if the birds are not there, it won't look that dramatic. Just and the second picture now having the sun behind, so you should be very careful while having sun as a backlit element because that can ruin your picture very fast, very fast. So I made sure that the sun is just behind the gateway. So I was just on the I kept the framed it at the on the edge. So that's how you can like frame the picture and get the shots. And all these three pictures I've put together. Like even this when you're developing your taste as a photographer, like having a cohesiveness in the picture also becomes important. Like for example, these three you can see every picture has an element of sun in it, and so that is like as you develop your style and your taste you start seeing things and you can relate to it and you can work for a better like bigger purpose just than a normal picture. And the settings, see, the best part about mobile is like it's a one button, you don't have to think so much. And only thing you need to know about is if you have a bright element which is generally the sun, you need to so generally you have an if you click on the sun everything becomes dark. So you need to balance like if you I don't know how many people use iPhone or how many use Android, but generally they have that you can say I forgot that AB, like the brightness control, where you can
Yeah.
just drag it down or drag it up. So generally, if there is a sun in my picture, especially not the sunrise or sunset sun, which is very manageable, but but the sun when it's at 8 or 9 p.m., which is a little bit brighter, but it can overexpose the image. So that part of the sun, if you have, so what you can do is you can adjust the brightness by lowering down the AEB or the brightness control on your phone, and then take a picture on that. So that now, so now this, if you are taking a pictures like that, then you need to bring out the processing part. So if I don't know how many people are purist or how many people are like to edit the picture. So depending on your taste, the one button function is like the best part of mobile photography is like that. Just the brightness adjustment can get you a lot of results. You don't have to think about the aperture, ISO, and the shutter speed. A mobile does half the work for you. But
Okay.
yeah, to know, use it creatively is up to you. Like how you can actually increase the brightness to get more details out of the picture also is it's like once you start exploring mobile photo any kind of photography, once you have established as in basics are clear, you will want to explore yourself in this field.
Yeah.
Because taking a random shot anybody can do, but you will start to put your style in it or you want to put your soul in that picture. Like I have done something for it, does not press the button. So when that starts coming in, then you start to explore the options. That's why you keep seeing all these mobile not operators mobile companies giving so many features because they know people are now just not wanting just clear photos. They want something more. They want that depth effect, or they want some I don't know, some extra things so that they can like these days cameras are selling mobiles mostly. It's not the mobiles that are selling cameras, but it's, if you see the top feature, the first thing they will talk about is camera. And I'll personally, I don't look at anything. I just look at the camera and the battery life sometimes, because the that those are the two major things that I look at. Because apart from that, everything else is manageable for me. I am okay to compromise on anything, but for those two, I am not able to come, because that's the reason I went and bought Pixel 2 XL. Because for, so now it's very old. Now it's like one of the, now it doesn't, like, now I see the pictures of the latest any picture. Now I'm like, oh shit, I should upgrade my mobile now. Hopefully I'll do that. But yeah, these days I'm like telling you, the mobile has become so good, especially after, like, OnePlus was one of the top first mobiles to give 30-second timer on your phone. So I'll show you the picture. One picture I have of a Milky Way. I didn't take it afterwards. After
Mhm.
that, but it was capable of taking a Milky Way shot, just randomly placing it anywhere, just to take, just to show, okay, if Milky Way is there, you can take, you can compose accordingly. So that benefit having on your phone, it's incredible. Like,
It is.
yeah, the output might not be the best of the best, but to have a small you can say the you will have a cake, but it won't be from the best bakery. It will be one of the bakeries where you can like, you will be satisfied. That's all. You won't be the content with it. You'll be little satisfied. That's all. So that is the thing that that mobile has brought into it. Even though I take a lot of pictures from my DSLR, that is for my personal work. Because if you're into photography, depending on what kind of work that you want to do, you will pick the genre. I want to take both mobile and DSLR, so that's why you see all mix of my work here. So next one, okay. So all right. So working on some projects like this is, I'll tell you, this was a random project I did. I was not even. So I live in Chennai. So Marina Beach is like next 10 minutes away from me, 10-15 minutes. So I was like, let's do one thing. I went for 1 week, just going to the beach in the morning hours to shoot something. I went there. I didn't find anything. It was like basic shots I took. Then I was coming back. I was like booking an auto to go back home, or booking a cab. I don't remember. So while booking, I saw one auto going by before the shot. I was like, let's try to frame that, because just the Vivekananda Memorial that you see, just the memorial was not looking good. Like, I was like, it's looking plain. So I just took that picture. After taking, I went to meet. I went and met my friends, and I was showing. What do you think? Should I upload this? I'm like, it's okay. It's not my landscape kind of stuff. They asked me, the first question is, where is this place? I said, dude, this is a meeting spot. Like, every day, we are a group of friends who meet for like 5-6 years in this spot. Like, this is the spot where we come and meet, and they were not able to recognize this just because of how I framed this whole thing. I'm like, are you sure you don't know this place? And he's like, oh, then it struck to them. It's Vivekananda Memorial. They said, yeah, you should upload this. A very good picture. I was still hesitant. Then what I did, I made a series of, and one more part. When I uploaded this picture after that, everyone looking at the picture said one thing: this reminds me of Chennai. Just looking at this picture, everyone said that this is, everyone, like, I can remember, like, I can see Chennai looking at this. I was like, really? So sometimes you as an artist, you don't, because you see as a photography aspect, people, now, as I said, people like to relate to things. So now the auto and the memorial, they, and the color tones of it, it all is proper. People who are from here, they relate to this, and that is everyone. Like, I can tell you 10-15 people just message me, wow, this is such a great shot, this reminds me of Chennai. And I was surprised. So I did this series of 3 images with 3 memorials. So the last one, it's an Jayalalitha's memorial. After she passed away, they made this. So one person from the political party contacted me to send me this picture. I was hesitant to send it, but I was like, let me send it. That's fine. So I just sent it. So imagine small series of what this auto on a memorial can, and this randomly got picked up by National Geographic, and I
Wow.
still am clueless. Why? How did this happen? Or this is the power of doing a series. So this I'm understanding slowly as I'm growing as a photographer, that people like to have like if they have the not just one, a couple of pictures to make it a whole story, not just a single image. That actually helps. So Nisha, I think you will also be able to relate now, seeing this space of NFTs and stuff, how collections are working well. This is because this is the reason, because people see that okay, now that like they can see a bigger picture than a smaller picture together, so that helps a lot. So that's why I included these three pictures here, just to show that how personal projects like these small things can also impact your photography career. So now from that moment on, I started to look, I'll tell you, I've taken around 50 60 different pictures, and I selected these three because these three I thought that I would be personally able to relate to, and more people will be able to relate to. I had a lot of pictures, all random shitty pictures from good pictures. I had to select these three. So that's how I did it. And this is all just a normal click, like just framing it and just clicking it. It's nothing. And then processing and giving it to your own taste. Like for example, I can recommend you like two softwares. Like Snapseed is one of the majorly used softwares for many people. But there's another free version of Lightroom that you can use. Like Lightroom has a free version without the selective tools. That is something that is more powerful than your Snapseed, but it has limits. Like Snapseed has some good features, which it's very parent to Snapseed. The Lightroom has these features, which is like remarkable. The color selection and stuff. So, and advantage of Lightroom is that you even get a pro mode. Like for example, sometimes people say that they don't have a pro mode on your phone. So if they have a Lightroom app, they have a, like if you go to the camera settings, they give a professional mode till 1 second. You can adjust all these settings like shutter speed, aperture, the focus point, everything on that. So that is a very good thing that to have on your phone, Lightroom. And Snapseed doesn't have that, but there are other other apps that which have their own features of their camera. But I like Lightroom a lot because of the my ecosystem of the images that I use. Mostly, I use Lightroom on my phone, on my desktop, so that's why I like that. So yeah, so this again, these three images are again from my phone. So you see the middle picture, which is of Milky Way. So if someone wants to shoot a Milky Way, so I just tell you since you are shooting on your phone, there's you don't have to think about it that much, because now these days the phone have like you can say 18 wide or something like that. So with that settings, you can like if you are going to the pro mode, which I think generally if anyone is using phone these days, know that it comes with the pro mode. So now if you have a pro mode, you can actually take this kind of shot just by putting these settings, like 30 seconds or 25 seconds of shutter speed. Then ISO can be either, depending on how dark your sky is, from 2500 to 6400. Depending on that, you can actually start with 6400 and then reduce it slowly to get a clearer picture. Like the more higher you go in ISO, the more you will start seeing grains in it. Like it will be like you have seen the old pictures, right, where it's all crushed and they have a small spots, something like that. It will look like that. So
Yeah.
that is something you have to compensate and see which is working better for you guys. So and the aperture. So aperture in a phone is generally fixed to 2.8 or 1.8 depending on the camera that you have. But if you go to the pro mode, they have this option for a macro shot, they represent it by a flower, and for a like a landscape shot, they represent it to a mountain. So you can shift the whole dial to the mountain part, and just like you can go to the penultimate part, like the penultimate line. So that way, what happens is, uh, uh, sometimes it is the maximum. So that gives the maximum focal length for your lens. So it focuses on infinity. So sometimes infinity can be a little, like for example, where the mountain ranges are present, that will be the last line of the stick. So you have to just put one line before, or it can be the last line as well. So you have to zoom in and see the picture. according to your phone and how focused are the stars and stuff. If you put these three settings, and and if it's a dark sky and there's no light pollution, you can easily get a depending on the month as well. From May to October is a good sorry, from June to October is a good time to take a Milky Way on the northern hemisphere, northern side of the India. So you can get a Milky Way shot. And see, generally Milky Way, if you're able, some mostly if you, for example, if you want to see the Milky Way from your eyes, you need to stop seeing your any bright screen, for example, your phone or a laptop, for at least 5 minutes or 2 3 minutes, and then focus all your energy to the sky. So because your eye then adapts to that lighting of the sky. If you start seeing your phone even at 10% brightness, it affects your dynamic vision. So if you stop using all your digital devices, and like if you are in a dark environment, so if you focus on the sky, you will be able to see the trail of a Milky Way, or at least the tail of it, or the center core. If its core is visible, it will be beautifully visible most of the time. It's just that you need to concentrate on that to look for it. Sometimes even after concentrating, I miss it. Like if I not see it for it revolves around very fast. That's why I said like the shutter speed of 30 on your phone. So okay, I'll tell you some basics about shutter speed as well. So the thing is, the Earth rotates and Milky Way is also moving. So now, if you put a maybe shutter speed of 20 seconds, what happens is, since the Milky Way is situated that far away and from the Earth, the rotation is not that much visible. It is there, but it's not huge, like for maybe 20 or 15 seconds. But the moment you start going from 30 seconds to 35 seconds, what happens is, now you have to now the Earth rotation also comes into the picture, and even Milky Way rotation also comes into the picture. So that now creates an elongated stars. It won't be a single shot; it will be a trail of a star. Like lines will be starting to come. So that's why people stop at these numbers, like 25 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever it is for your camera speaking. But for generally, like to start with, it's better to start with 25 seconds, having the aperture in the you can say near the mountain, like the to the landscape part of the screen, and then having an ISO from 2500 to 6400. So that way you will be able to get a good Milky Way shot from on your phone. And these days, I personally have seen the night mode that phones have brought. Nisha, which phone do you use?
I use iPhone.
Is it 12 by any chance?
Yeah.
So even 12 has a good. What happened was, last trip to my to Kashmir, there were few people whom we accidentally met while eating. So they were from a big production company of Netflix or something. They were
Mhm.
came here there to shoot. So they were asking, like we were talking about why we came and stuff. So they said that they have come. We have come to shoot just the Milky Way and leave, just for the one night. Just came for the one night to go. I went to Gulmarg to shoot the Milky Way and just leave from there. So I went there, and so they also got interested, and they had iPhone 12 Pro.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, if you have a pro mode, I'm sure that I can get you the shots from your phone itself.
Mhm.
So I called them that it was visible. It was clearly the whole Milky Way, like whole curvature of Milky Way was visible from that place in the night. So I just called them and they came, and everyone had iPhones. So I took one iPhone, I just placed it handheld. I'm telling handheld, I took a 10-second shot, and you can see the Milky Way. Just imagine. You didn't even have to use a tripod. That good the cameras have become in stabilizing the footage. So imagine if you have a tripod and stuff, you will be able to shoot it clearly, and like this is the, you can say 2 out of 10 shot. Imagine if it's a better shot, how good it, 2 or 3 maybe.
Yeah.
But imagine if it's a clear, if it's taken from a proper tripod, and if it, from the latest firmwares of the like the product. So that will be really good. And the other part, like for example, now the other mountain shot that you see on the right. So there, for example, to create the depth in this image, so you can see that I have, this is all using like phone software like Snapseed and Lightroom. I've added the colors, like added the light from the top of the right side. So
Yeah.
to create that, the light is coming there, like to give it more, like this is called dodge and burning, just to give it more dimensional to the image. So that is what I like to do. Like my images, I really want to give it that feel that it's huge. Like the landscape is bigger, not just a normal 2D picture. It is going in different levels of it. So that is
Okay.
what I want to create. That's what I'd like to do here. And this again, so this is a phenomenon. This are not. I will say some of the best works, but why I have put this image is with this I was able to shoot that kind of shot. That's what I wanted to say, that this is taken in Andaman in Radhanagar beach. So the sunburst that happened through the clouds, it was amazing. Like, and this is from an iPhone, Nisha. So the iPhone has such a good camera. Like after Pixel was the king of cameras that time, but I think over the years, I don't know what happened, and like iPhone picked it up very fast. Like this shot I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
so, if you have see, it's like it's so beautiful to see, and the right one. So that is
Yeah.
a phenomena called I forgot the name. So if you write rainbow clouds, you'll get it. I forgot that the name of it. But so this is what you get from a phone itself. So that is not a bad thing to do. But the again, I'll say the disadvantage of it. Now in phone, what happens is, if you focus, like if you generally took your camera and just took a shot, what would have happened is you wouldn't have got the colors from it, because that is a very bright spot, and camera, what it does, it averages out the whole screen and sets a neutral tone for it. Like for example, the buildings below were very dark and the sky above is very bright. So what it does, it balances out and gives maybe 50% of like you can say from 0 to 100. If you have something, the camera will auto adjust 50% of it. So now if I have 50%, you will have just a white layer of color, white layer there. You won't see the colors. So what I needed to do was, I needed to click on this part of it, like this part. I needed to click and bring the brightness as low as I could, so to get all the color information in the picture. That's why you see colors of maybe magenta, you see green, you see yellow, you see even purple,
Yeah.
orange, everything. So if I would have just clicked on it and taken, this wouldn't have come. And then after clicking this image, then I took it to another like the software like Snapseed or Lightroom, and then I adjusted the brightness even more to balance
Okay.
out the brightness of the buildings and the you can say the sky, so that the color comes out. Because one thing is clear, that the camera, the picture has all the details. Like for example, you go to the market and get all the vegetables. You have everything. It depends on how you cook the image. You get the like the finished product of it. Like the better you cook, the better you can make the finished product of it. It's right that you can even click the image and just put you. It's up to you. Like, see, photography over the years, I've realized is everyone is different. Like some people would like just to have the images as it is, very
Yeah.
minor things, and some people love to experiment with it, and some people are in the middle ground. Like they love to do sometimes and they don't love to do it. So it's up to you. It's like a very personal taste that you have and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so just that how you once you start doing it full time, you actually want to put your element in it. So that's how I try to put my element, like giving it more colors or something like through colors or any other thing. So I'll just move to next image. So next image is again, this is from Ladakh, while I was going to Spiti and Ladakh. Just same like how you take up image, the same way I will do it. But then again, I know how to like how you put the light. Like for example, you see the light is coming in the mid-ground element, and then more brighter light is coming in the background element. How you give the dimension to the light is even any kind, even if from DSLR to your phone, it's up to you. I really love to do whatever device I'm on. I will love to experiment on that. So that's how I started experimenting slowly on my mobile and even on my DSLR. So yeah, so again, so on the right hand side, so everything was again my phone camera exposed it to like 50% brightness. Like you can say everything was bright, but then I reduced the exposure and then I like you can say dodge and burn the road so that it leads to the hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello,
I
I'm
can.
okay,
Yes.
okay. All right.
Yes.
So how it leads to the mountain. So that is how you can like add your element to the image. Next one. Yeah, this is the monastery I was talking about. So you see that yellow color house right on the left. So that is where we stayed. It is on a cliff. They have just built it on a cliff. This is a small part of it, and this is taken during on the way to the. This all phone shots. So this is taken to the way to that monastery, and this that on the left is the monastery, and yeah, this is taken. Left one was taken from a flight plane, like sitting on a window seat and taking a shot. It was early sunrise, like maybe 5:30, but from 5:45 to maybe 6:30 between that time. And the right one is just a shot from taken in the Chennai, where there is a you can say a small what's that called? I forgot the name. A not backwater, stagnant, like not a lake, but something like
Yeah.
that. It's there, so I took there. So yeah, so again, this photo right hand side is taken on a like it was Khajiar. The place is called Khajiar. I saw this plant leaf just there, and if you notice, again, if I would
Mhm.
have taken the picture would have been a flat image. It was a very flat image with the colors of the leaves were not there on the
Okay.
image. You have to extract it out. Like I mean, the colors were there, but when the phone camera clicks the image, it doesn't. It gives you a neutral picture. So now when I went into the software, I extracted the shadows and I
Uh-huh.
gave a dimensional light to it. Like for example, I'm light is coming from the right hand side and darkening on the right hand side, like coming. So that dimension like gives it a feel of liveness, like it's alive. The picture is not dull, it's like there, something like that I feel. So once I start feeling that about an image, I start to feel okay, I have like process it fine, like it's fine now, I can stop processing once I give that liveliness to it. And the right image, you see that that was a snowstorm that came in, and
Okay.
everything was all gloomy and sad. So my color choices were according to that itself. I didn't want to give it a warm look because everything was cold around me. So
Okay.
that's why you see a hint of blue in that.
Okay.
So that's how I like to give the personal taste to my images. And yeah, this is a small presentation I did. I think I already exceeded 1 hour. And this one last image is again from the T2 terminal, where I that is one of the best architecture things I've ever seen in my life. Like one of the most
Okay.
beautiful airports. And that is what this is a black and white image. So what I did, I just wanted to expose it so bright that it looks like a very exquisite image, like something like that. I wanted to give it a feel to. So that's why it's like a very bright image. It was taken in the early morning hours before
Mhm.
my flight. So yeah, that's with that. I would like to say thank you for having me, Nisha. Like this is a small presentation I made for this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you are going through a crazy schedule with your current projects
No,
and
no, no,
things.
no.
So
Yeah,
this
that
is
is done. That is done. Like my and now, that projects. Now I need to like you can say the my part is over. Now it's the part that how I mark like communicate to the people. Like this is the part I want to learn. Like you can always like Nisha. I think you will also agree that over the years you can be a good artist, but to be a good salesman, not the salesman, but how to product market
good
yourself well,
understand.
it takes a lot of time,
Yes.
a lot of time. Like if you can, if a person can do both, you can excel. Like this is the field to excel in, and you know how much you can like do it here.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
true. It was nice.
Yeah,
I mean, see, most of us these days have a mobile camera. I mean, mobile
yeah,
always definitely, and
yeah,
I think at least 70% of the people will be looking for a good camera in the mobile, so that
yeah,
they can avoid carrying a camera along with them. And I think
yeah.
mobile brands are kind of keeping an eye on that and keeping it up to
They have done
date.
a wonderful
Yeah,
job. They have done a wonderful, like the way if you see the camera market has increased, not the camera, the mobile market has
increase.
increased through photography. Like every time it's the feature that they update is camera. Like even the chip is the same. And these days they're targeting even photographers, right? Like they are taking photographers for all these work. Why? Because they know that they can take the best out of their camera. So that is a side that we all know that how like how cameras are helping them get the sales.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, I think there was a bit of confusion for one of our viewer because you were talking about bulb mode, and I think he was referring it to the mobile camera. But you
Yeah,
mentioned that
yeah,
it's
I can.
not just mobile; it's going to be mobile and camera and
No, no, just the bulb mode. I mentioned that. Yeah. So if he had any question on that,
no. He was. Is it possible in mobile cameras? Bulb mode. Are you? I'm
no,
not
I
sure.
think I've seen maximum till 30 seconds till now on the camera. It's not more than that. I don't know about all the cameras, but what was the name of that? Hawaii, no, Hawaii. I think had. I don't know if it was more than 30 seconds or not, but there's one camera that even helps you get the star. I forgot the name of it. Like I don't. It was like a long time back where you can even get the trails of it. Maybe it was a software based kind of thing, but I don't remember it. Maybe I could be wrong also, but I don't remember that part. Yep.
I think question wise we have only that, and the rest of it is all good comments on the photography. So
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
that you
Thank
don't
you.
have
Thank you.
much
And
like.
anything that you wanted to ask about like mobile photography, like I had tried to cover mostly
Yeah, you
the
covered
uh,
almost everything, including
yeah.
something
If you
which is
think
live.
that
Yeah,
yeah, like just the thing like in mobile you can as I said that this is a landscape and travel kind of view, but
yeah,
in mobile you can do a creative side as well. Like creative is there are many people who do that, like put the tripod on a stand, do some light painting on it. Light painting is like the people like every if you want to start knowing that, so what you can do is just create a room like in the room just switch off all the lights, take maybe a bulb, not a bulb, like your fairy lights, and start making shapes out of it. So that is one kind of like you can you start with that and then you create the patterns that you want and how you create your art through light painting. So that has one different kind of use. And then there is like, for example, you can even do this like you have a maybe a toy car or something, a toy car. Then you can like put a camera on 30-second timer and keep it. Let's see, the car is stationary, the camera is stationary. Then you can take your flashlight of another phone, just flash your light on the maybe on the left hand side and the right hand side of the image. So what happens is it gives a feeling of that you have two lights from the side coming in. Like for example, I'll tell you again. Like for example, you have a dark room. You put a car in the center of the room and put a camera just opposite to the car, so that you're taking a picture. Like it, if it was a bright room, you would have seen a front view of a car. Now you switch off the lights and then you put take out your flash of another camera or whatever light you have, a torch or something, and just shine the torch on the left hand side and the right hand side of the car. So what happens is it will give a different look to the same car now, because everything else will be black and you have light sources coming from the two sides. Like in 30 seconds you can flash it wherever you want the light. So that will, like for example, when you do it from the top, the sides will be dark. So now you can even cover it in the 30 seconds by flashing it on the side. So it's all on your mind. Like once you start exploring the possibilities, just like you will start seeing more possible. Okay, I can do this. Oh, I never thought of doing that. So even to this day, I am surprised by the things that come out in photography. So light painting is one of them, and what else you can do? You can like, I don't know. No, that is a video thing. But like photos, you can even try the stop mo. You can say what you say that moving car shots. Like for example,
Got it.
what is that shot? I forgot the name of it.
Slow
So
shutter.
like for example, yes, Nisha, what do you say?
Slow shutter. Slow
Yeah,
shutter.
slow shutter, but the name of the shot, it's just not coming on my mind. Not, I'm not able to spell it out. But anyway, so what you can do is like slow it down and move it with the speed of the car. So what happens is the car looks frozen, and the other part in the background, you can say other moves. So that creates a different kind of effect in your photos. So previously, this was not that easily possible by doing on your phones because it didn't have that much capability. These days, it's like it becomes simpler to enter into photography than it was before. You
Yeah.
might not get everything, but you can start with it. That is the best part. Like you can now, no need to buy a DSLR just to start with your photography. You can just start with your phone and then explore everything. And then when you're feeling okay, now phone is making me hold back with what I want to create, then is that is a time that you can venture into DSLRs and slowly move into it. Like phone is a good starting step for it. That's all. That
Yeah.
is the best way to put it.
Great. Okay, I think yeah, you kind of touch almost everything from
Yeah,
framing to the aperture to the shutter speed, and including post production and the
yeah,
softwares and
yeah,
you know everything. So that's great.
yeah. And if anyone wants to like have any questions or something, just you can drop me a DM on any of the social channels.
Channels,
And
yeah,
yeah, and and one more thing, like backing up your data is also important.
yeah,
uh, if you're into professionally into it, then it's like, see, if you're just shooting for fun, then it's fine. But if you're into professionally, you have to always first of all have a good memory card and then have a good hard disk. Like hard disk corrupt, like once you're into this field and when your hard disk starts corrupting your favorite images, you realize the pain of you realize the pain that what you go through. You'll be like, I'll pay any money, I just want that image to be, I want that image back. So I personally use all these SD cards from SanDisk, and all the, even the, now I have a you can say, going to purchase an 1 TB version of the SanDisk SSD, because that is like travel friendly a lot. Like you can travel anywhere, and it's very pocket best. And they have 1 TB and 2 TB versions, so you can just be safe with your data, and it's waterproof. So like
yeah,
it's very small and very precise. So that's the best part of that. And I think I'm personally thinking of buying it soon. Yep,
yeah.
I think that's it. If we, yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean for the same thing. I think in case we are talking about the SanDisk, the one which we suggest or I'm using is this one. Second, so
Yeah, the high one with the high read and write speeds, right? Yeah. So I was
yes,
like, so there were two available. So I was like, which one should I go? Then I realized it's better to get the higher speed ones, because while
yeah,
traveling, when you're saving, backing up data, you don't want to just sit there and it will be, it takes a lot of time, like
yeah,
64, 65 GB at
yeah.
least moving to your computer. So yeah, better to have the high speed ones.
Yeah, so you can either use SanDisk Extreme Pro Micro SD XC UHS one card. So yeah, it's such a long name, but yeah, it's
Just
definitely
my
I'll
micro SD will do. But like so these days, all these people are very they know, okay,
yeah.
and this photographer has come for micro SD and they know what to give.
Yeah. So that way, I mean, these are the only things. Storing definitely is one key thing because the moment if you are thinking about a longer plan like 1 week, 2 weeks to a place, and if you don't want to, you are already transferring everything from your camera to your laptop or anything. So in case if you are having something with good capacity, that definitely makes your life slightly more easy for sure.
Yes, yes, definitely.
All right, I think so. That was it. I mean, there is we kind of almost touch every aspect of it, along with
Yep.
your personal touch, your story, your monastery, and you took us to lay and took us to the place, took us to through that narrow path where you could put only one feet, and the
Yeah.
40 people, the 10 people village, a lot of things. So, thank you
Yep.
so much. We really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you,
your
Nisha, for
time and your
having.
skills.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Nisha. It was great
All right,
talking.
take care. Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
All right. So that was Dheeraj over there, and we got some amazing stories from his side, and it was so nice to see. When we talk about cameras and when we talk about people, we always get confused what camera is required to do what. But then this one, he give every element the importance and explained it so well. So I hope it was interesting and you all had a great time. So we still have some amazing sessions coming up for this week itself. We have Chaitanya Deshai talking about photography. Then we have a couple of other people. Then in terms of drones, we have Jitun going to talk about drone photography. And I think around 6 or 7 webinars are going to come back to back in next 2 weeks' time. We shall keep you posted. Before I say bye, I just would like to add one more thing. Please do take care. Make sure that you are getting your vaccination. It's very important at this point of time. So stay safe till we catch up next time. Bye bye.